Welcome back everybody. It's August the 7th already, 2025. Today is the feast of Saint Cajetan, Confessor, one of the Iste Confessor group. So I really don't know much about him. I don't really know very little about him. I don't know about his life. I don't even know what nationality he was. So join me and let's find out. Right, here he is. He was an Italian Catholic priest and religious reformer, co-founder of the Theatines, and he's recognised in the Catholic Church as a saint. Cajetan was born in October 1480, the son of Gaspar, Lord of Thiene, and Mary Porta, persons of the first rank among the nobility of the territory of Vicenza in Veneto region. His father died when he was 2 years of age. Quiet and retiring by nature, he was predisposed to piety by his mother. He studied law in Padua, received his degree as Doctor Utriusque Juris in civil and canon law at the age of 24. In 1506 he worked as a diplomat for Pope Julius II, with whom he helped reconcile the Republic of Venice, but he was not ordained a priest until 1516. With the death of Pope Julius II in 1513, Cajetan withdrew from the papal court. Recalled to Vicenza by the death of his mother, he founded a hospital for incurables there. Maybe our politicians could go to one of those hospitals. By 1523, he had established a hospital in Venice as well. His interests were as much or more devoted to the spiritual healing than the physical kind, and he joined a confraternity in Rome called the Oratory of Divine Love. He intended to form a group that would combine the spirit of monasticism with the exercises of active ministry. A new congregation was canonically instituted by Pope Clement VII in the year 1524. One of his four companions was Giovanni Pietro Carafa, the Bishop of Chieti, elected first superior of the order, who later became Pope as Paul IV. From the name of the city of Chieti, in Latin, Teate, arose the name by which the order is known, the Theatines. The order grew at a fairly slow pace. There were only 12 Theatines during the sack of Rome in 1527, during which Cajetan was tortured by mutinous soldiers of Charles V. The Theatines managed to escape to Venice. There Cajetan met Jerome Emiliani, whom he assisted in the establishment of his congregation of clerks regular. In 1533 he founded a house in Naples. The year 1540 found him in Venice again, and from there he extended his work to Verona. He founded a bank to help the poor and offer an alternative to usurers. You know, that's what we need. I often think that traditional Catholics should start their own credit unions. Anyway, so he offered an alternative to usurers who charged high interest rates. It later became the Banco di Napoli. Cajetan died in Naples on the 7th of August 1547. His remains are in the church of San Paolo Maggiore in Naples. Outside the church is Piazza San Gaetano with a statue. He was beatified on the 8th of October 1629 by Pope Urban VIII, canonised by Pope Clement X. His feast day is celebrated on the 7th of August. Jesuit missionary Eusebio Kino in 1691 established the mission Saint Cajetan. It is now a national historical park in Arizona. He is known as the patron saint of Argentina and of the unemployed. So that's his life in a nutshell. But then if you look up, referring to the Theatines, he consecrated his order to the cross, which he adopted as its emblem, and the foundation took place on the feast of the finding of the Holy Cross, 3rd of May 1524. His order was approved in June of that year, and on the 14th of September, the feast of the Exaltation of the Holy Cross, Cajetan and his companions made solemn profession before the papal altar of St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. So if you actually go in there and visit St. Peter's Basilica, that's where St. Cajetan pronounced his solemn vows. The chief object of the order was to recall the clergy to an edifying life and the laity to the practice of virtue. They founded oratories, among them the celebrated Divino Amore, and hospitals, devoted themselves to preaching the gospel, and reformed lax morals. They were exclusive, aristocratic, and formidably austere. One noteworthy event in the life of Saint Cajetan was that on Christmas Eve in 1517, he had a vision during his first Mass in the chapel of the Nativity within the Basilica of St. Mary Major in Rome. In this amazing vision, the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared to him and placed the Christ child in his arms. This mystical experience is a significant event in the life of Saint Cajetan and is often depicted in art and celebrated in Catholic tradition, particularly during the Christmas season. One of the repeated attributes of these confessors over and over and over again is the fact that they are known and resorted to as healers. So if you need healing of any sort, physical or spiritual, may the graces of Saint Cajetan help you, and may he bless you and your family. The following is a lighter setting of the first reading of the first nocturne at Matins, which is a lesson from the book of Proverbs, Proverbs 10, 1-5. And I have this set to a kind of a lighter acoustic setting. It is obviously full of wisdom. So thank you. See you next time.
But a foolish son is the sorrow of his mother, the sorrow of his mother. Treasures of wickedness shall profit nothing, but justice shall deliver from death. Just with famine, and he will disappoint the deceitful practices of the wicked. A wise son maketh the father glad, but a foolish son is the sorrow of his mother, the sorrow of his mother. The slothful hand hath wrought poverty, but the hand of the industrious getteth riches. He that trusteth to lies feedeth the winds, and the same runneth after birds that fly away. A wise son maketh the father glad, but a foolish son is the sorrow of his mother, the sorrow of his mother. He that gathered in the harvest is son of confusion. A wise son maketh the father glad, but a foolish son is the sorrow